Trying to care. First off, I love my wife and 3 kids, but we have been moving apart for the last couple of years despite my trying to be there for her and the family. A couple of years ago she got into CrossFit. I mean really into it, every day for a couple of hours. I never worried about it, but it was really messing up the home life and that house was going to crap. As the house seems to get worse, the exercise regime gets more and more intense. It's a vicious circle. Long story short, she moves on to strong woman competition crap. I let her go because I know it makes her happy. A long year later she is spending 25 hours a week at the gym keeping the kids with her till way to late 10 p.m. at night. Oh, I forgot to mention this place is 35 miles from our house. So last week I am at work and I get this text from the gym owner's wife which says she had just looked at her husband's texts and phone calls. Not the texts themselves, just volume, and that she had just confronted him. He admits to having an emotional relationship. And kicked him out. When I got home, I confronted my wife and she says nothing happened and she is not happy. So being the dumb guy that I am, I believe her. She stopped going to the gym, so I figured things may be on the mend. A week later I get another text to ask about a certain day. I start checking the text, phone call times and info, and it looks like she made herself a 2-hour date after I had driven home from a family vacation in D.C. 8-hour drive. She denies everything and is asking for a divorce based on the fact I do not trust her and I am snooping on her. Is there any hope? I just feel like a fool for allowing her addiction. The kids 4, 8, and 11 are watched by me almost every day, either after I get home or if I have the day off. Looking back, I should have done more date time and less time trying to make her happy by watching the kids and letting go to the gym. And the stupid shall be punished. I have already told 2 of her sisters that I thought she was cheating. I will definitely stop being a pushover. I have made myself far too accommodating. She needs to realize that her life of bliss is over. She will have to move into an apartment and she will not have the ability to go to the gym at all hours. And I will make her aware that the man she cheated on me with at the first opportunity dumped her like a steaming pile of crap. I just worry for my kids. I have been poring through the phone records and it looks like the relationship started about a year ago. Things went downhill last August when she got in a car accident with my youngest. 3 at the time. We had all gone to a local water park in 2 cars because she was going to go to the gym after. Well, long story short, the 3-year-old was being grumpy and in her typical overreacting fashion she decided to teach her a lesson and take her home. I know she was angry and I know from the damage on the other car that she at no time hit the brakes. She was reaching for her coffee. Maybe I should have been more concerned for her safety, but to be completely honest, it was just a matter of time. The minivan she usually drives has literally no quarter panel without damage. She just doesn't pay attention. I still have access to the phone records due to me being the owner of the account, and I am also the title holder on all 3 cars. Which I am sure she hasn't figured out yet. Comments. There is no percentage in pleading or competing for your cheating wife's affection. It's like fuel to the fire and just makes you look even more the way she may already see you. Unworthy, pathetic, now add to that devastated and desperate. Take as much as you can of the pain and despair over seeming loss of your family as you knew it. Your children's family and world, and put it in a box for later. It won't help you or them now. It's totally counterintuitive when you are going through this crap and you want to cling to everything that was or that you thought was but is gone. You'll look weak. I did all this wrong, by the way. Keep your head high, accept at face that she has chosen a path inconsistent with the continuation of your marriage. Don't argue it. Prepare and plan rationally for life after marriage. Most importantly, the best for your kids. By all means, consult with a divorce lawyer for the lay of land, including costs of divorce, asset split, alimony and child support, custody, family home, dogs, cats, cars, and so on. Got to know what you are facing, especially if she is throwing around terms like divorce. That information will help you assess the situation more calmly and rationally. So, your internal reaction when she screams, "I want a divorce," is okay. I know what that means. It can be a really unsettling and upsetting word for someone with 3 kids and mortgage. When said in anger, I think it is supposed to be unsettling and to prey on the uncertainty and anxiety you are already no doubt are experiencing. But knowing the angles and likely fallout can be calming and allow you to respond. Okay, let's sort that out. Here are my thoughts. Made a difference for me. I didn't like it, but at least I knew what it was. One of the most damaging and confusing things early on is to get spun around by the impossible denials, implausible explanations, raging indignation, and so on. It's all defense mechanism to put you in your already hobbled state further on your heels, questioning your sense of reality and whether by even asking these questions you might destroy the marriage and family. I failed pretty badly here again, too. It's cruelty on top of cruelty. Maybe more from an instinct of self-preservation than a desire to inflict pain, and maybe a healthy mix of both. But at best and in the most charitable light, indifference to the cruelty and damage done. Work with OMW if you can get to the bottom of it, unless you move on and decide that is information you do not need. My sense is most who have suffered spousal infidelity and tried to work through it could not find where to start without first being satisfied, after the lies and insults and insulting lies, that they knew what happened. I think the truth is that whatever you learn, you will always wonder what about what you do not know. And no doubt that knowledge and uncertainty will keep you up some nights, and night and day forever color your view of the marriage, except sometimes when you forget for a while what it was they were supposed to move beyond. OP responds, just set up my own bank account. You guys are going to love this one. 2 weeks ago she tells me about a deal to Orlando, so I get the tickets in anticipation of a week at Orlando. Talk to the cheater's wife. Guess who else had tickets on that flight? You guessed it, him and his family. I do not deserve this and will not stand for it. Going to see a counselor Tuesday, but from what I have seen so far, she is an unbelievably selfish sociopath. Not 1 ounce of regret or remorse shown. On the plus side, the OM got slammed by his wife and came crawling back to her and left my unfeeling, uncaring robot of a wife with nothing. Not to ramble, but it's late. I really think she has issues. Her father was a functioning alcoholic and her mom was an invalid that was probably addicted to pain meds. Growing up, she had one friend through high school and was the ugly duckling compared to her. She only had 2 or 3 friends in college, and they are all old maids. I find it funny that she is unhappy and will soon have a real reason to be unhappy. Tonight, we have our first counseling session. How do these typically go? Do I confront her and let her know all the BS she has been up to, or do I play it cool and try to see where she wants to go with this? Oh, things have been a mixed bag here. The weekend went very well here, no fights, very civil, but it looks like she removed the easy pass from the car, so I can't see what she is up to. Looks like it's time for a GPS tracker. I don't think she is talking to anyone, at least not on her phone. I have contacted most of her family about her shenanigans and to let them know I am trying to maintain our marriage, but the lying has to stop. Everything went okay. Ask about the missing 2-hour block, just got accusations of trust issues. I wonder why. Tried to express what we are feeling, but it's hard for me to express the pain of finding out my wife has been sneaking out. The weird thing is we seem to get along as friends, but as soon as we talk about anything about trust of feelings, she shuts down or starts accusing. Going to counseling again Monday. It also seems to be very common that a personal trainer becomes the affair partner. I have always believed that women are attracted to a man most able to affect a positive relationship to her environment. As her body changes for the better, and she feels the change, she associates it with the personal trainer. Bam! Affair begins. And yeah, I've seen a few women lose their minds after hitting the gym and losing a ton of weight. They inevitably do some wild things before they relearn their boundaries. Her brother's daughter is in the hospital in an induced coma, and she talks to her brother. I call the brother's wife and talk to her. Same story, not happy. Not happy for a long time. This is making me angrier than the emotional affair, or even if it was physical affair. I'm not happy. Get over yourself. In 14 years of marriage, she has worked full-time less than 3 years. Has a nice house, a husband who doesn't cheat, doesn't drink, doesn't beat her, devotes himself to her and the family. Just getting angrier and angrier. How would one go about telling his wife she needs help and probably meds because her little fantasy? I'm unhappy. Dream world is starting to piss me off. At this point, I don't think she is talking to anyone. I think she needs a big dose of reality. I think I am going to go on a vacation for a week or so. I can do something fun and she can watch the kids nonstop. Win-win. I am very tempted to file for divorce, but I have the feeling she wants that because then she can tell people it was me. Blame me, tell the kids, etc. I think doing the 180 and going out and enjoying myself would be the best right now. That and getting her on meds. I have 14 years of marriage and 3 kids to think about also. I couldn't care less about me. It's the kids I worry about. If the next meeting goes to crap, I am going to ask for her terms for separation. She is so in the fog right now that I am pretty sure she just wants escape. I work 12-hour shifts, so I will ask for 50-50 custody so I can keep the house. What I really don't understand is the fact we have been talking more and getting along. I doubt we fight even once a week. I always pictured divorce as being the last step when nothing else is working. How do I go about becoming primary or dual primary? All I want is for my children to have a happy, normal life, and I really don't think living with my wife is at all the best thing for them. It seems she is looking to escape everything either by going to the gym all the time or by going to work all the time. Our youngest is 4 now and turns 5 in October, and she is dead set on getting her into kindergarten. She is bright as hell, but why would you want to take away a year or her childhood like that? She may be the most selfish person on the face of the earth, yet she feels she is the greatest mom ever. She actually thinks divorce is a good thing and that everyone walks away happy. Totally delusional. How to wake someone up from this kind of dream worlds. We went to my parents last weekend and she felt blindsided because my parents knew about what was going on. She was surprised they knew. She has not talked to anyone in her family and is like this stupid little island that needs no help or counseling because they have made up their mind, and that's the way it has to be. I have already told most of her family. She talks to no one. In the month and a half since the big surprise, she has talked to her brothers for half an hour total. She is convinced I am bugging her. I have checked her odometer every few days, checked the phone usage every week or so, but I figure it's not going to be me that catches her, it will be the other wife. I just don't get it. I seriously wonder if she was doing meds or she just took depression a few steps farther. I think she is in for a big shock if, when it ever gets to court, staying at the gym with the kids till 10 p.m. on a school night. Gym's 45 minutes away, so home at 11. I have bought, shopped for all the kids' clothes since forever. I did all the grocery shopping up until maybe 2 years ago. Her idea of cleaning the house is organize the stacks of crap from one place to another. I can go on and on. It wasn't always this way, it just creeps up on you till you realize that slowly but surely you are up to your nose in crap. Sorry for venting, it's just hard realizing that what we had at one time is gone and is about to be replaced with having to fight to see that my kids come out of this the best they can. Quick update on my situation. So over her crap, got served, filed against her also. The longer I deal with her, the more I know she's nuts. She is still living at home because her lawyer hasn't told her to move out, trying to set up a 4-way meet with our lawyers soon. Because her lawyer is not pursuing anything, and quite frankly I am over this nonsense. Any thoughts on offering to pay a percentage of child costs? I mean all of it. I am going to offer to pay 75%. Oh, she is a nurse and making $30 an hour, working 30 a week, and I make $130,000 or so. Court update. Well, just had our first court conference Friday. We didn't get to actually see the judge, but some things have been either settled or the surface scratched. She agrees that I can have the kids at least 50% of the time, which is great. Second, her closing a retirement account without telling me didn't go over so well. She is now responsible for all her own lawyer bills. Third, and most importantly, I asked my lawyer if he could do something about the sleeping arrangements. She had the kids sleeping next to her on the couch or an air mattress. Yeah. Totally nuts. Well, the judge thought that it was nuts too. The kids are all sleeping back in their rooms and have already seen an improvement in attitude and emotional behavior. Oh, and the judge thought it was nonsense that she is making $50,000 and refusing to pay common bills. Well, that is going to change. Since the day she was caught, she was kicked out of the Musclehead gym by the owner's wife. I really think all contact stopped. She still works out, but nowhere like before, maybe 6 hours a week versus 25. Now she's addicted to working as much as she possibly can without getting childcare. Just using me. I don't mind more time with the kids, and shows the court who really has been a better parent. The more I deal with her, the harder it is to figure her out. She's been nice lately. Not her usual self. That kind of worries me. The New York 29% kind of goes out the window if I get the kids for 50% of the time. I have had been nothing but nice and amicable this whole time. I know this is a long game and anger and fights will get me nowhere. If it comes down to it, I have some serious aces up my sleeve. Can show that she was with the kids over and over at her Musclehead gym till past 10 p.m. on a school night. My neighbor is an asked principal at a school that is located in my county. He told me all about my judge being fair because he is always in the courts for kids from his school. Well, he has said he will testify for me if needed. That can't hurt. The 50% thing at court was, I thought, pretty unusual. 50% was offered by her and her lawyer at the get-go. And my lawyer asked for at least 50%. They said yes in literally 1 second. Am I safe in assuming that this is a big deal? I thought that this is what is usually the big battle. She agreed to me having more than 50% custody. Has anyone here ever dealt with the spouse where now she is trying to be supermom? cooking, etc. She actually went to parent-teacher meetings this year. For the first time. Well, we had our second lawyer meet up at the courthouse last week. Let us just say she is quite angry. The judge told her she needs to get a full-time job. That did not make the princess very happy. She agreed to a custody agreement that I had put forth. I proposed that I have the kids 19 of 35 days or nights, as that is how the courts view it. She agreed to this schedule, and then proceeded to argue about expenses. She was ordered to pay 25% of the household expenses but hasn't paid a penny. I'm pretty sure that will come back to bite her soon or later. She argued about having to pay 25% of my food costs while at work. I said, let me get this straight. We are paying $800 an hour for lawyers and you are arguing the price of milk. Total nutjob. She is still living in the house. What a nightmare. Wouldn't wish this on anyone. I wish I could post pictures of the dishes she creates on a daily basis. I'm not sure if she is doing this on purpose or if it's unconscious, but they are epic. The next court date is April 3rd. Already in the process of refinancing the house in order to pay her half of the equity minus the debt. Oh. I almost forgot to mention she still thinks she is going to get 28% of my gross. I enjoyed informing her that because I will have the kids as much as I do, that the 28% is out the window. We had our second lawyers get together at the courthouse. She agreed to my having the kids 19 out of 35 days and household expenses. So, I get a call from my lawyer yesterday, or today actually, that we have been assigned an advocate for the kids. I asked my wife and she nowadays it's the usual and right thing to do for the kids. Oh, and get this, fondly found the report card where I worked a straight day shift, 40 days tardy that year. What can I expect from this advocate for the kids? And do I bring the evidence of her being set gym with the kids up to 10 p.m. on school night and the tardy retort card? What else should I have in the chamber? Statements showing 9:30 p.m. gym times worth the kids on school nights, 40 times tardy in a school year. Got the kids dressed in their school clothes at night to speed up the morning routine. More than tripled her hours at work once she was discovered, closing accounts secretly and got caught. These are just the big ticket items I'm thinking of right now. So, want her out of my house and out of my life as much as possible. Took the kids to the law advocate for the children. She came also, after the kids talked individually. The crazy person asked to talk to the lawyer also. Jackpot. This allowed me to talk to her as well. Had the car info card and explained that the court now had put me in charge of bedtime and where they sleep. I explained my schedule and what I do to get the kids off to school and how she had increased her hours exponentially once discovered. The lawyer actually asked if I thought she was capable of doing it herself. I said maybe, but I'm not sure because right now she is in an up cycle. Then the lawyer asked if she was on medication. I explained how she self-medicates by lifting for hours and hours. Pretty sure the kid's lawyer got her eyes opened a little. New update, not a huge one, but I'm kind of freaking out. Friday, she had a 7 a.m. appointment. I assume with her new lawyer. She has been nice for the last 3 days. It is totally freaking me out. I just wonder what's going to happen now. My lawyer says that her new lawyer likes to settle. Let's hope for the best. Just got a letter in the mail which contains a letter from her lawyer. Included in it is a total BS schedule where it has me getting the kids at 10 a.m. on 2 or 3 days. So what time is her court-ordered full-time job going to start? Also, she said the minivan which I bought in April, before any legal stuff. The down payment which was from the total accord. Yeah. She was grabbing a coffee. No way she was texting her boy toy. Well, she said it was from tax returns, so she wants half back. Lol. Let's see. Last year she made $20,000, I made $140,000. You deserve half. So tired of all this. Had schedule agreed upon pro rata expenses. Just so exhausted. And she is still living at home. Just not so slowly losing my mind. Was very nice before and asking to inform the others about 2 weeks vacation a year. Well, I get 5 and looks like Christmas week and August are about to be spent with Dad. Not happy at all. So where do I begin? We had our third court visit today. Pretty sure we are going to end up in trial. Everything that was agreed upon at the second, like custody. Which is the main thing. Well, now that's back in the wind. She said her previous lawyer was pressuring her to accept and told her she had to. Lol. The only reason she challenged is because she wants child support. Was more than happy to let me have them for half the month until it no longer helps her Cinderella existence. Nothing, and I mean nothing, was settled today, so I am 90% through the refinance. as told to do by my lawyer at my second court appearance. What now? So upset. So tired of her nonsense. Now she wants all the actual receipts, not bank statements. Is that legal? So tired of this. I'm thinking about starting to play hardball. She has to pay 25% of house maintenance. I'm thinking the roof counts. The judge has already stated that due to my schedule that 29% is inappropriate. What bothers me is she is more than willing to give the kids to me 60% of the time, but just wants the money. Her and her lawyer are now asking for hard copies of all the receipts. Bank statements for the debit card apparently aren't enough. Is this kosher? Because my hoarder wife has receipts for the last 10 years. I think they are all going in a box. And here you go. Just got the taxes done. 66 due to her 401 bullcrap. Was pretty awesome watching the light bulbs explode as he explained to her what she did. So, the princess finally decided to work full-time. She hires 2 babysitters without me even meeting them. I'm pretty used to inconsiderate nonsense at this time, so I just pack it down. I get offered overtime next week, so I tell her that I was offered OT. She replies that I will have to find coverage. No big deal, I think. So I tell her I will use the babysitters she has employed. She informs me I am not to use them and that this will need to be discussed at the lawyers. This pisses me off because just last week she told me I had to stay home with the sick kids because she was desperately needed at work. I am no longer going to facilitate her in her nonsense. Why is it that I assume that because I act like an adult she would also? I'm really getting tired of all this BS. At this point I start to wonder about my own sanity. Is it me or has she completely lost it? So Mother's Day. She has stuff to do. From 10 a.m. to 8 or so at night, really don't care what it is. Just hard to tell the kids, I have no idea when she is going to be home. And because I am a nice guy, took the kids out, bought her some cheap plant that the kids picked out and made a full-on dinner. Sucks telling the kids they have to eat and that they can't wait for mom to eat because I have no idea when she is going to be home. On a positive note, one of the babysitters is very good, plays outside with the kids, very involved, the other, not so much. The one thing I have is money. The judge said she has to pay all her own legal fees. If I have to, I'll poorhouse her. Because if it's one thing I can do, is put up with her BS. Just like being on a submarine, bide your time. And laugh at the idiots. $13.00 a month became $18.00 a month, so tired of this. Lol, and this is the angering part. She lets out that I am too tired to get the kids after my last day of mids and has a picture of me and the youngest to prove it. Just put 2 and 2 together. She took a picture of me and Evie after. I worked mids the night before. Went to court, then picked up my daughter from school because she was sick. Then got the kids the bus. Yeah, I'm such a poor excuse for a dad. Well, now she has approached a new stage called, I'm so entitled nothing but me means anything. I just had to share these little gems. They are off the chart. We have a 4-year-old dog and 2 years ago her ACL got torn. We had it surgically repaired, but it didn't take well because she refused to listen to the vet or me about what was needed for range of motion. It was supposed to be just a little gentle lifting of the leg, not the full extension and circular nonsense that she did. Please remember, entitled princesses always know better. Flash forward to no. Another knee looks like the same thing is going on, so I mentioned to her, nicely I might add, that we should consider have the other knee operated on. Her reply had less emotion or caring than the Terminator. The first one didn't do any good, so there is no sense in doing the second one, heartless woman. Then we have this morning. I work rotating day and night 12-hour shifts. My daughter had a half day of preschool, and after I got home this morning at 7:57, I asked where the babysitter was. She replied, oh, she's in Pennsylvania. Said you can get a babysitter anytime you need. Really? Thanks for the warning. And to top it off, I leave for work at 4:45 p.m. She shows up at 5:30 p.m. So on top of getting 2 hours of sleep, I get to be late for work. What a nice little princess. Oh, and if she thinks I'm going to be home in time for her to get to work on time, she has another thing coming. Game on. At times I just shake my head. This week I happen to be working midnights, so I get home just before 8 a.m. When I'm home, the STBX is there. But so is the babysitter. This is where it gets crazy. Not that I'm home, she tells the babysitter she can go. So basically, the babysitter is there to sit there while you get ready for work. Am I crazy or is this nuts? What should one expect from someone who is making $16 an hour to take care of the kids? Make meals, clean the house, do dishes. I am really unsure. I'm really trying to figure this whole thing out. The next chapter has begun, so this week is the last week of school and my daughter won some awards, principals list, etc. Very proud. So I took Wednesday and Thursday off, no big deal, right? Well, she informs me that I will have to chip in to pay the babysitter. I told her no, I'll pay for a babysitter when I need on, which is when I do overtime, which is never. A half an hour later I get a text just to let me know she is going to get an apartment in the next couple of days. My reply was okay. Well, today she pulled the kids out of the end-of-year preschool party for the youngest and texted me that she had gotten a place and that they will be staying there tonight. And all the animals are still here. Imagine that. Is insanity contagious? God, I hope not. So tomorrow on my way home from work, I'm going to tell her I am going to pick the kids up and that I would like to see the place they are staying to make sure it is safe. Is this feasible? It sounded okay to me, but the crazy might have worn off her. Earlier in the whole mess I told her that once she was out, I'd give her 30 days to take whatever she wanted. That, and if she has keys and access, she can't claim I kicked her out. And it's going to be difficult to say I created a hostile environment because she stayed a more than year there after her nonsense was discovered. She also can't claim poverty because of the 2 accounts she closed out or the fact she is on track to make $60,000 this year and contributed nothing to household finances. Almost a year later, well, we have court again this week and to be honest I'm at wit's end. Every time we go it's over schedule. She agrees to one thing then 2 days later backs out. All I want is my kids on my days off. Which is half the year. But she keeps playing little games. Say for instance I get off my last midnight shift at 7:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. She would rather pay babysitter $16 an hour than allow me to have them. Not Tuesday, but after school Wednesday. At this point I think even the kid's lawyer is starting to be in my corner. How do I play this? Keep in mind she is crazy, holds a grudge till the end of time, and is a woman in New York State. Any advice would be great. Not sure if I am going to be keeping my lawyer at this time. It appears he's playing the long game, but I'd like to see more offense. My comment. Have you been in multiple courts meeting facing your ex? How does that affect you mentally and physically? Comment down below and I'll get back to more stories after dinner time.